Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream of proof that aliens are real or that there is extraterrestrial life out there. In this live stream, we'll be talking about Jimmy Carter's view of the extraterrestrial. It was October 1969 while Jimmy Carter was giving a speech to a small crowd. Someone in the audience spotted a UFO. It was described as a bright blue ball. Jimmy filled out a report on the UFO. He is the first president to openly admit to the public and to fill out a report on a UFO sighting or extraterrestrial sighting. Now, what happened was Jimmy Carter was giving a speech to a crowd, and someone in the audience spotted something in the air. They pointed out, Jimmy Carter saw it, and he described it as a ball that was changing color and that was moving, that was like hovering above the air, and then it just disappeared. Many people say that this happened to be a weather balloon. Well, there are a few reasons why this can't be a weather balloon. One reason, the size of it was too big. Jimmy Carter described it as being the size of a moon. Weather balloons in the air do not appear to be the size of the moon. Second of all, weather balloons do not change color. And third of all, weather balloons do not hover in the air. Weather balloons constantly move. What Jimmy Carter described the UFO as to be changing color, the size of the moon, hovering in mid-air, and then suddenly disappearing off into the sky. So that theory that people say is a weather balloon has now just been proven wrong. And I've gathered a few paragraphs from two websites, I printed them out, of the situation. This one is from www.history.com. Jimmy Carter files a report with the NICAP claiming he has seen a UFO in October 1969. During the presidential campaign of 1976, Democratic challenger Carter was forthcoming about his belief that he had seen a UFO. He described waiting outside for a Lions Club meeting to begin about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, when he spotted what he called the darndest, well, quote, the darndest thing I've ever seen, end quote, in the sky. Carter, as well as 10 to 12 other people, described the object as, quote, very bright with changing colors and about the size of the moon, end quote. Carter reported that, quote, the object hovered about 30 degrees above the horizon and moved in toward the earth and away before disappearing into the distance, end quote. He later told a reporter that after the experience, my mistake. During the presidential campaign of 1976, Carter promised that if elected as president, he would encourage the government to release, quote, every piece of information, end quote, about UFOs available to the public and to scientists. After winning the presidency, though, Carter backed away from his pledge, saying that the release of some information might have, quote, defense implications, end quote, and pose a threat to national security. And that's the end of this paragraph. This paragraph is from wikipedia.org. One evening in 1969, 2 years before he became governor of Georgia, Carter was preparing to give a speech at the Lions Club meeting. At about 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time, one of the guests called his attention to a strange object that was visible about 30 degrees above the horizon to the west of where he was standing. Carter described the object as being bright white and as being about as bright as the moon. It was said to have appeared to have closed in on where he was standing, but to have stopped beyond a stand of pine trees from some distance. The object is then said to have changed color, first blue, then red, and then back to white, before appearing to recede into the distance. Carter felt that the object was self-illuminated and not solid in nature. Carter's report indicates that it was witnessed by about 10 or 12 people and was in view for 10 to 12 minutes before it passed out of sight. So these are two paragraphs that I've gathered. I also printed up Jimmy Carter's report. Now, it looks like a school test that you would take. There's questions. First question is obviously your name and your address, occupation, blah, blah, blah. Number 2 is date of observation, October 1969. Time, 7:15 p.m. Time zone, Eastern Time. Location of observation, Levy, Georgia. How long did you see the object? Hours, 10 to 15 minutes. And then it goes on. So far, there are about, I'd have to say, 35 questions. Now, obviously, these are pretty crappy copies because in 1969, they had pretty crappy copiers. So I will later translate these. Well, I shouldn't say translate. Later, I'm going to rewrite them so that you can read them better. And next, I have a video that I would like to show you. I'm cutting it down so it's only 3 minutes and 4 seconds long. This is just a little more information about the whole Jimmy Carter incident with the UFO to help explain things better if I haven't explained things good enough.
In 1969, Georgia Governor and future U.S. President Jimmy Carter claims he witnessed a UFO. There have been numerous attempts to explain the sighting.
Some have speculated that perhaps what Jimmy Carter saw was some type of weather balloon filled with helium.
But aspects of the sighting don't fit the weather balloon theory. Carter's sightings, filed at NICAP and the UFO Bureau, describe the object changing color. It was the size of the moon, moving bizarrely through the sky before it disappeared.
Oh, Jimmy Carter, the governor of Georgia, graduate from Annapolis, is really only seeing a weather balloon. A weather balloon? Are we back to Roswell in 1947? Weather balloons don't change color. Weather balloons don't hover. Weather balloons aren't that big. This was big. They rise, and they don't stay in the sky. Jimmy Carter didn't see a weather balloon.
At the time, there is no official explanation given for what Jimmy Carter saw. Even though he can't prove it, the experience of the sighting stays with him.
Jimmy Carter is running for president, and he's asked on the campaign trail, Governor Carter, will you tell the truth to the American people about UFOs? And Jimmy Carter says, yes, I will. He's going to reveal the truth.
In 1977, when Carter wins the presidency, he directs the CIA to release top-secret reports on UFOs and extraterrestrial life. The CIA refuses.
Just flat out say no to the president if that's really something.
Carter tries another way.
Jimmy Carter asks the director of Central Intelligence, George H.W. Bush, Mr. Director, can you tell me what the CIA knows about UFOs? And George, consummate professional, says, Mr. President-elect, you have no need to know.
The CIA has denied the new president permission to release top-secret information to the public.
It surprises people to find out that the President of the United States doesn't have access to everything.
The UFO secret is a higher level of top secret than you, even though you're the commander-in-chief.
But something mysterious happens. Just as it seems a standoff is on the cards, Carter makes a U-turn, retracting his promise to declassify UFO documents and make key reports public. He cites a serious threat to national security as the reason for backing down.
President Carter never mentions the word UFO again.
It sounds suspicious, but there are some very
Alright. That's all for the video. The rest doesn't really talk about anything else, to be honest. It doesn't really talk about anything related to the fact that he saw something and the fact that there is something out there. So this is the end of the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have now better information about life out there and are a little more experienced about this. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream with more information and more proof about why and how aliens exist and the fact that there is extraterrestrial life out there. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'm Brianna.